So these clear meatballs, they're really easy to make, but they start off by just chopping up a bunch of ingredients. So I have about 6 shiitake mushrooms that I'm going to rehydrate and then eventually chop up. I'm going to put in about a half of a big daikon radish that I'm going to grate, as well as about 2 carrots. So we had the main veggies there, and now for kind of the Chinese trinity, which is your garlic, your ginger, and your scallions. So we're just gonna get all that into nice fine pieces. So now you just want to toast up, or you can add in some oil and then fry up some of the ingredients. These balls really didn't want to come together. I think once they're steamed and you activate the starch, it starts sticking together. And then you want to steam it for about 10 minutes on medium high.
They are somewhat gelatinous.
Here's how to make vegan chitlins for the holidays. Going to use bean curd sticks, bean curd sheets. This is what they look like. I'm going to break them and soak them for about 5 minutes. Add them to a pot of boiling water. Cover them for about 45 minutes to an hour, however you desire. Gonna strain them, add water and jalapeno peppers. This way the bean curd soaks up the jalapeno peppers. Gonna add sriracha to my plate, but you season them however you like. I like to add a flour, hot Texas Pete, and happy holidays.
Today, an exciting recipe. I'm gonna show you how to make this delicious vegan ham, or maybe here in the UK you call it spam. So this is 2 cups of lukewarm water, to which we're gonna add 2 cups of ground flour. I'll give it a little whisk, ground coriander seed, some salt, so I need nutmeg, white pepper, but this asafoetida compound that helps with gas and bloating from the split peas or chickpeas, you know, from just kind of beanie things. Then to give it nice kind of pinky ham color, or sausage color, I'm gonna add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of beetroot juice. Whisk it up, and here I've got half a cup of coconut milk to just help with distributing that flavor and giving it that kind of ham taste and texture. And then last is our car, so this is about 1.5 cups. So I've got 2 cups of water to a boil, and I'm gonna pour this in while mixing. Keep on cooking, keep on mixing for I would say at least 12-13 minutes in total. So I'm just gonna pour the mixture into my mold like that. So this ham has set in the fridge overnight, and we're gonna invert that on a chopping board. Beautiful. So I'm gonna slice a few slices here. So now to the taste testing part. As you can see, I haven't sliced it very thin, but if you sliced it thinner, it would be like proper ham, because it's kind of nice and flexible. So yeah, let me give this a go. Really good, guys.
Part of my plant-based journey, eggs was one of the very last things for me to cut out of my diet. And it was mainly so hard because it was such a huge part of my day-to-day routine. But vegan street food did this thing, guys. They developed a vegan crackable egg, and it fries just like an egg. The taste and texture is so similar. I really enjoyed it.
There is something just fun about eating messy, delicious ribs straight off the bone. So today we're making a vegan version of a rack of ribs with a special ingredient that holds it all together. But before we get into that and the technique for adding faux bones to this roast, we need to make our seitan dough. So press a block of tofu, and to a high-speed blender add
1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt, 1 teaspoon of MSG, 3 tablespoons of neutral oil, 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar, 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of vegan Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of liquid smoke, of cannellini beans, liquid and all, fiber.
Then weigh out and crumble 350 grams of your pressed tofu and then absolutely liquefy the ingredients. Scoop your wet ingredients into a bowl that has 370 grams of vital wheat gluten and 2 tablespoons chickpea flour, all whisked together. Knead the wet into the dry until you get a nice looking dough. Then cut it right in half. Grab a rolling pin or dust off that bottle of aperitif someone left at your house a long time ago and use that to roll out your dough into ovals. Once the dough is no thicker than a ½ inch, it is time to dough up your bones. Now, I've seen all sorts of stuff out there like using cut up corn cobs, potatoes, sugarcane sticks, but today I'm trying out these wooded rib bones from a company called Fauxbones. Now cut off long, thin strips and press it on the base of the bone and then wrap it, tucking in the ends. This technique is what is going to allow us to eat the meat right off the bone without it just straight up falling off. Once you've wrapped your bones, cut off any excess dough, creating what will become the final shape. Now we're going to add the bones to the dough using something called Moo Glue, which is a brand of transglutaminase, or TI for short. Make sure you wear a mask as it is a fine powder and you don't want to breathe this stuff in. We're going to make a slurry with it by combining 2 grams of TI with 8 grams of water. Brush the slurry generously on the top side of the slab and then use it to coat each of the gluten-wrapped bones, pressing them confidently into the dough and the rib next to it. What the TI is doing is bonding the seitan back together, since at a certain point, once the seitan dough is set, it won't stick. When you press down, the TI creates a bond between the 2 slabs of protein, sticking them back together into the shape we want. In this case, a rack of ribs. The TI is completely destroyed in the cooking process, leaving only the bonded protein. To ensure that this sticks, place some parchment paper on top and rest some heavy books on it for about an hour. After the rest, your ribs should be bonded to both the big piece of dough and each other and not falling off. Now bake it in the oven for 30 minutes. And once it's done baking, add enough stock to your pan so that it can be covered and bake for another 2 hours at the same temp. Let cool and store in the stock overnight. The next day, remove from the liquid, slather with oil, and optionally sprinkle on some MSG. I used about a tablespoon here. Bake that for 15 minutes at 350 F 175C and then remove. And barbecue sauce on both sides, leaving the presentation side face up. Make sure that you also coat the bones in the sauce and bake for another 15 minutes. If you're feeling it, you can get any of those non-charged spots with the culinary torch. Make sure to get those bones with a little bit of heat to make it look extra cool. Cut in between the bones and then, well, go eat it.
Hey everyone, I'm gonna try out the mac and cheese recipe. Let's pour it in. There's more sauce. I made more sauce so that I can use it later or tomorrow or something. So we had zucchini, I had ham parts, carrot, red bell peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, miso paste, leeks, chili, organic hill turmeric powder, used my code Chef Yin, some allspice powder, nutritional yeast, and a pinch of salt. Okay. I wish the zucchini was smaller. But yeah, it's pretty yum.
Look at these fantastic coconut sprouts. Let's open one. You basically just take a machete, cut off the greenery, right? And then we're gonna cut this. Are you guys ready to see what's inside? Look at this goodness. Oh my God. Can you see this? I was blowing so that this fiber on the side doesn't get into my sponge, because this sponge is the bread, all right? And then here, in the other half, you have the butter. Do you see this layer of oil in there? Look how you can scoop it up like that. Let's try it. Oh my god, wow. I just love this one. Think of a French sourdough bread with some lightly salted butter on top, right? Really, such an epic food to eat.
Today is also exciting because I'm gonna make something traditionally German, the vegan version of drumroll, Kaiserschmarrn. Is there even an English word for Kaiserschmarrn? Sugared pancake with raisins. I'm not gonna lie, that's basically what it is. But we keep it whole foods, baby. I'm talking about date sugar. I'm talking about making it healthy, delicious, and simple.
Das ist das Lied vom Kaiserschmarrn. Kaiserschmarrn, das ist eine Pracht. Aber nur wenn ich droben auf der Alm, die sind extra für mich macht. Milch und Butter und pro Löffel Mehl, da gehört ein Ei dazu. Mit Salz und Rosinen angerührt, mit einem Deckel deckt man zu.
That tastes so amazing. So much nostalgia that actually tastes like Kaiserschmarrn. That tastes just as good, or as I think even better.
And I've been wanting to make a raw vegan shepherd's pie recipe for a very long time, and so I'm very excited.
The normal white button mushrooms, normal olives, sun-dried tomatoes, the lime juice, the pure lime juice, and then I have hemp seeds and some walnuts. Okay, cauliflower, half a celery, we'll chop this. I'm gonna just use like speed fry. Yeah, check it out, guys. Raw vegan shepherd's pie. Let's try some. Like, we get the whole layer. Oh my god. As someone, you need to try this. It'll be like, yep, it's shepherd's pie.
Hi everyone, Christina here, and I am so happy to share with you today an incredibly delicious, fully raw vegan ramen noodle soup recipe. And this is what is going to be our ramen noodle replacement here. These are kelp noodles, otherwise known as a form of seaweed. What I've done is I have marinated some mushrooms, red onions, and white onions in some coconut aminos and dehydrated them for about 4 or 5 hours on a very low temperature setting. 2 cups of water into the Vitamix blender, and then I'm just gonna add a touch of the turmeric water into my Vitamix blender. Next up, 4 cloves of garlic,
1 thumb of ginger, the juice of 1 lime or lemon, 2 tablespoons of white, fresh, raw miso, 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos or namashoyu, 1 tablespoon of raw coconut nectar, 2 tablespoons of raw tahini, and 1 teaspoon of pink salt. You can add some chili flakes. Now this adds a real kick to it, and it's so good.
All right, let's check this out. Are you ready for this? Woo! Look at that. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. So you're first gonna add your kelp noodles into your soup bowl of choice, just like this. Once your noodles are in your bowl, you can go ahead and then begin to add your broth, your ramen noodle broth. Look at all these flavors. Look at this. Are you looking? This is so good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.